Hi guys, it's Kian. So today I'm doing a FACEUP log, probably a short one. And we have Salt here and Vi. Vi is not wearing his wig because Tone stole it. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about blushing ears. So it may not be super obvious right now, but I wanted to talk about why I blush doll ears in face-ups and why I like to do it besides just for the aesthetic reason. And yeah, so these are kind of like my sort of newer-ish face-ups on my own dolls. Technically there's Pebbles, but she's a different size and it's hard to put her in the same frame with this guy. So that's why she's not here. So I haven't always blushed ears on face-ups. I honestly don't remember when I started doing it. At some point, I realized that okay, so this is Salt. Salt is a switch Sohwa in normal skin, and I think a bit of back history prior to doing like Salt's face up and also I guess Vi's face up. A lot of the face ups that I did were on dolls that are normal skin but of the yellow base kind of undertone. So like the Vogue's normal skin color, which is quite different from this normal skin, which is a pink base normal skin that is not just a different shade, which is pink, but also like lighter in terms of like the darkness of the normal skin resin. So I do have another normal skin switch doll, which is Elfie. But I did his face up with the kind of blushing that is more common to what I usually do on normal skin Vogue's kind of yellow tone normal skin dolls, which is more yellow. And when I was doing Salt's face up with the same pastels that I have, which you can refer to like an earlier video where I showed my materials, it's roughly the same as that time. So I realized that with the current amount of pastels that I had, I wanted to try doing more of a cool tone kind of blushing. So maybe I'll just show you what Elfie actually looks like next to him. Elfie is a bit older, so that's why he is a bit more yellowed. But you can roughly see, even though Elfie is not in focus, that his blushing is much more I guess on the warm side of colors, and then this is more on the cool side of colors. So I wanted to try a different kind of color scheme when I was doing Salt instead of this, which is a more warm kind of face up. Yeah, so Elfie is kind of like more warm tone, whereas Salt is more of a cool tone. So with Salt, minus ignore that tiny ear chip. I don't know how he got it. But with Salt, because I was trying out a different color scheme, I thought that a good way to test out the color scheme, how it works on this particular resin color, was to blush his ears. So particularly the yellow area is what I find very good for blushing, to test what kind of pastels will work for the kind of blush color scheme you want. So I tested on his earlobe first, and then I went on to his cheeks. So the reason why I chose the earlobe is because it's a relatively flat area, so if you don't like the combination that you tested on the ear, you can just gently rub it off with a magic sponge or erase it with a kneadable eraser. I usually just go for the magic sponge because the kneadable eraser kind of leaves residue sometimes. But yeah. So this is the main reason why I blush doll ears, which is that when there's a particular blush color scheme that I'm not very sure of, I always test it out on the ears. And it's just kind of I guess, an easier way to just test the color. So that's the reason why I did it for Salt. And if we move to Vi, so Vi is, let me just turn him a bit. So Vi, you can see, has blushing on the earlobe, and I usually also do it on the top of the ear part. Basically, I haven't painted many white skin dolls for a really long time because I've owned mainly NS dolls. So I was testing out like the color on his earlobe and then transferring to his cheek. So I'm not gonna go into like what particular pastels I actually used. I don't really know whether that's useful. It's I'm not the best at, like, I haven't really gone very deeply into color theory. I only know what works with what pastels I have because I've experimented with them. But yeah, so I was testing it out for Vi as well because his white skin, which is a color of the resin, which is a resin color that I haven't really painted much on until recently. And then the reason why I don't test it on the head cap, which is what some other artists do, is that I just don't want to spray MSC on the head cap. Like, that's all. I just don't like to have to bother with spraying MSC on the head cap to try it, so I usually just do it on the ears. And of course the bonus is that the ears will also look a bit more complete. So I do prefer the look of face-ups that have the ears blush. I know some face-up artists specifically do not blush the ears, but yeah, I just find that besides aesthetic reasons for like why I like their ears blush, which is that it kind of looks a bit more complete, I think that it's just a very easy way to test colors when I'm not very sure what I'm gonna use. So that's the reason why I blushed all ears. And that's all I have to say today. You're basically just looking at their ears. Yeah. Alright, that's all for today's FACEUP log. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.